But welcome back. My name is David, and I like to do random stuff. The random project we have on the bench today, and for me it's random, is instead of gaming, I'm going to be repairing my Logitech G502 Hero gaming mouse. Um, the right click has started getting to a point where while I'm playing first-person shooter games, aiming down the sights, if you're holding it, the actuation goes in and out. And I have a short click to kind of show you what is going on there. So let's take a quick look at that. As you can see here, I'm holding the right click consistent, but as the actuation loses signal or the dirty contacts, whatever it is, it just flickers. And as you can tell, or as you can assume, that's probably not very pleasant to play with. So my thoughts are to replace it with a new switch. I purchased these Omron white switches instead of the blues for no other reason. This is just what was available. It had decent reviews and a relatively affordable price. Um, so I went with these, received them. I'm going to attempt to put them uh, into or at least one of them. Going to replace just the right one for tonight and go from there. Do some cleaning on this and dive in and figure it out as I go. And hopefully, if anyone has any questions or um, needs some help working on these and figuring out, maybe I can answer a few of those questions. One other thing I did notice is it's hard to tell on camera, maybe right there. My mouse wheel is at quite an angle. Not sure why or if that's by design. I never noticed that when I got it new. All the switches and clicks work, but I'm going to take a look at that when we dive in. This thing has seen heavy use. Uh, I've dove into it a couple of times trying to clean the switches by dripping a little IPA, isopropyl alcohol, down inside the contacts here and working it. It temporarily works, but I'm at a point where I'm ready to make it a permanent fix, hopefully. So, anyhow, if you have a new mouse, yours is going to probably look a lot nicer than mine, or if you've not ever dove into it. I've taken my silicone or Teflon slide pads off before and have not replaced them. You know, $7, $8 replacement. I just haven't done that yet. And so, sorry. Um, when pulling these off, I would recommend using just a little bit of gentle heat to help release the adhesive, because if you don't, you'll end up with them like that. Whereas you can see from here, this is a clean release, but this one here, the adhesive has stayed on the mouse instead of on the pad. These pads are not going to be reusable. I'm not too worried about that. But you should really only have the 4 screws, 1, 2, right here, 3 and 4. And since I'm going to be replacing them, we'll go ahead and just pull this one off too. But pretty simple. As like I said, I've dove in a couple times, but I haven't messed around with it a whole lot. Very small Phillips head screws. As you can see, they're very tiny, so keep track of them. Pretty Not sure why my mic decided to turn off all of a sudden. It's the night of technical issues. I'm pretty sure, this might be a pretty simple task for most, but I'm hopefully helping out some of those that are unsure if they can do it or if it's worth it. If you ask me, I mean, this is a $60 mouse. I think 56 bucks at Walmart. And it works really well. I love this mouse. Ergonomically, it is amazing. Other than just this click issue, I've not had any problems. So I will continue to repair it if I can. And if I can't, then um, I'll end up replacing it. But I would like to try to just keep repairing it. I don't want a ton of waste in the world, so I'm going to do all I can, electronic waste, to reduce that. So I have one screw in here that's a little bit finicky. It doesn't want to come out. It's loose, but let me give it a little tappy tappy here. A little tappy tap. I think it's being held in because of this adhesive. There it is. Nice. Right. So you'll want to get up under here and release the clips. And when I say up under here, there's a small break right here. Guitar picks or these plastic separators, little smudgers, all work well. My thumbnails tend to work if you need to get under there. This one here I've been into a couple times, so um, it comes apart relatively easily. Obviously, you want to be quite gentle with it and not um, force anything like I'm about to. There was one clip up here that is holding on. See if I can find it. Okay. When in doubt, let's slow down and see if we can go backwards a little. Mm-mm. Okay, I am unsure as to why this one is holding on. I've not had that problem yet, so I may have gotten something bound up in there. It's a little bit tricky to figure it out, but there's no need to be stressed or worried about it. Of course, I'm a little stressed here. I don't want to break it on camera. That would be kind of, this dude's trying to teach us something. But hey, shit happens. Why not? Oh, hey, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it looked like maybe I had bent it over maybe previously, that little lip right there, and caused it to bind up. Press that back down. So it all seems to be looking pretty good inside. And yeah, maybe that mouse wheel was um, just, I'm not sure. I'll be honest. I don't know. But what we're replacing today is the right click right here. This is our right, our left, and then we have you have your, I think, 4 and 5, and then you have your side switches right there. Sorry, let me get a little bit better light up here. See if that helps some. So these are a different switch than the side switches. I don't have part numbers on the side switches because I didn't see it necessary to replace them. But we are going to have to remove this mouse wheel in order to get the board off. I'm going to try and do this without removing these ribbon cables. They're quite fragile, and the connectors to put them back in are a pain in the butt, and I don't want to have to mess with that if I can avoid it. But this little daughter board here is just in a little um, holding tray, and we have a lock right here for the mouse wheel. That I can see it right there. That little lock just come up under and should be able to just gently pull it out and pry it out. Simple. Plastic. Don't force anything. Go gentle with it. And that comes right off. With doing that, it gives us access to the 4 screws holding this main board down. We have one here, one right there, one right here, and okay, so maybe only 3. For some reason I thought I had 4 on this one. Again, very tiny screws. Be mindful of where they're going. I have mine in a little spot up here to hopefully keep from losing them. But hey, fat fingers. Been there, done that. If you've ever if you've ever worked on an AR-15, probably the night before you're supposed to go out shooting with your buddies, that stupid little detent spring Mach 4 across the room. You know my feelings. Keep track of your small parts. All right. Okay, it does feel like there's something else holding this board, and I'm hoping it's not these two right here underneath the mouse wheel. So as I said, I have dug into this mouse before only to try to clean the contacts from this position here on this the switch. I have never pulled the um, main board out. So um, as I said, we're here to figure it out together, all right? Let's go ahead and pull these and see if that releases the board. I may not remove them all the way, I'll just loosen them. Yeah. So the board is the board's loose by loosening those two. So then there would be 5 screws, and I want to find out if they are different than the first 2 or the first 3. No, they're exactly the same. So no need to worry about trying to keep them separated and remembering in which position they go. Same length, same everything. Okay. So we have our sideboard for the side switches, our main board, and then we have my guess is the laser. And for safety, I would say I need to remove this this connector for the USB cable. Don't force it, just press these 2 little side pieces down and push it out gently. Dang. Logitech doesn't want you in here, do they? Okay. How about we go here, see if I can get that under. Nah, might be a little too fat. Get that under to wedge that out. It may not be necessary because all I need to do is access these 3 pins right here, remove the solder, insert the new switch. And again, my headset decided to shut off randomly. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, no big deal. So anyways, as I was saying, we'll just remove the 3 solder points here. Switch should come right off. This is just going to be with a standard soldering iron, not a hot air station or anything else. So let's just give it a go. I'll get this thing heating up. Have it about 400 or so. I just enough to melt. Doesn't need to be screaming hot, but also you want it hot enough to melt. And I am using leaded solder. I have some solder wick, just some cheap desoldering wick that I got from Amazon. I'll use some flux and isopropyl alcohol to clean up as I'm done. Using just standard 91% IPA isopropyl alcohol. So, oh yes, while that is heating up, let me move over here and give you guys a little view of the switch under a microscope. So there's the numbers. 2490 Charlie 31. It's a D2FC-F 7N20M. So these are not the blue 50Ms. I probably would have rather have had that just because it's a well-known switch, but these were available, and as you can see, Omron. So we'll get that installed. So make sure your soldering iron is well cleaned. Pre-tin it slightly. Fresh solder makes old solder wick a lot easier. And then always just a touch of flux. Flux makes everything flow and work a little better. This might be a little hard with it moving around. Let's get it on something a little bit more firm here. When using solder wick, it conducts heat extremely well. So that heat will travel up that wick. If you've never soldered or if you're new to it and you're unsure, it will travel and is not pleasant. It can burn your fingers. Get some heat into this here. Maybe I need to go up on my temp a little bit here. Might end up getting the hot air station out on this one, being that I'm not sure why it's not pulling it up. I do have to say this is a brand new soldering iron to me. I got it's the WEP 882D 2-in-1 combo solder station and hot air station. First time using it. I might need to go up on the temperature. Maybe the temp's a little different on this one as compared to my other one. We'll take it up to 700. See about where we're at there. Let it heat up for a second here. Yeah, it looks like maybe I was just running a little on the cold side. Playing a little too conservative. I have an exhaust fan up here, pulling the fumes away. It's interesting solder. It's not really wanting to melt all that easy. Let's get a little bit more tinning on my tip here and see how it goes here. You know, there's quite a few guys out there that are very experienced at doing this already on YouTube and Twitch, and I follow those guys and I respect and look up to them. I enjoy doing this. I'm trying to learn it, so I'm here to share in learning and sharing the knowledge. I'm going to go ahead and crank this thing up as hot air and just see how we do. Get beneath it here. Keep it moving. It's hot. Sure, it takes some time. See, I have a couple of viewers there. If you're interested, drop a comment. Let me know how your night's going. Let me know what kind of projects you got on your desk. Or if you don't have any right now, then cool. What else do you got interest going? I would have thought they'd have heated up by now. It's kind of odd that it's not wanting to melt. I'm not experienced. I mean, it's hot, but it's definitely not meltable hot yet. I guess this is where I take some of my own advice and just have a little patience. I always give advice and don't always follow it sometimes, you know? There we go. It's starting to come. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. And we're off. It is off. Let's pick that up with the tweezers instead. So there's the old switch and the board. This is where it was. We're going to go ahead and get that old solder out of there. I am not going to mess around with whatever was on there. And I mean, physically, this switch seems fine. Clicks are fine, but who knows? You know, contacts inside wear out, get dirty. It's kind of odd. It would be a right switch that started failing, being as typically the left switch. I wonder if it's my batteries dying. No, I'm not sure why. I will do some research, as I said already. Wonderful. So, anyways, you would think it was the left switch on a gaming mouse that would go bad because of obviously being you're firing one. But you know, who knows? Got me. Let's just use up a little bit of the solder wick here and try and pull some of that solder out of there. And clean it up a little bit here. I am obviously live streaming this. This will get posted to YouTube. So if you end up watching this on YouTube and have questions or comments, feel free to post in the comments, of course, or send me a PM. I am on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. You can get me just about anywhere. I am not super knowledgeable, but I like to share what knowledge I have. And I always love to talk with people. And also I take criticism very well. So I would love to hear everyone's advice on, you know, better ways to improve the stream, how to uh, do better. Well, that's the wrong tool. How to better portray what I'm trying to express. And as I've said already multiple times, I'm not promoting myself as a pro here in any way. I'm just here to learn as I go and share it as I go. And to have conversations with people, to really enjoy doing what I do here. Not really wanting to pull it out of there too much, even with a little flux. So let's hit the other side. The other side's not bad. So we might just heat the solder with the soldering station, a hot air station, and press the new switch back in. Now, of course, all this can be done with the standard soldering iron without having to have a solder station. I got a new toy and I'm using it and hopefully learning as I go along. So I'm wondering if maybe some of my issue is too small of a tip. I mean, can't necessarily get down in that hole. It is pulling wick or solder out. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. We got a clean hole there now. Stupid humor. I need to get me a third hand. Soldering hand makes things a lot easier. Looks like it's kind of clear. I'm going to have to go at it a little bit more here. Okay. Hey, 2 of 3 so far. Let's do this. Cool. Very cool. It looks like I was able to get the solder out of all the holes. Let's see if the switch will just slip right in. And it did. Looky there. All right. Making progress here. So let's get it set up so that it is held in. Oh, you know, I don't have is. All right. I can do like that. Figure it as we go. Throw a little bit of flux on here. Maybe a lot of bit of flux, and I didn't bring paper towels. Don't let mama see you putting flux on your pants. She may not be happy of it being in her washing machine. So let me get loaded up with a bunch of tin here. And let's see if we can touch this thing off and flow it in there. Let that cool. Tin it again. I've got it solid. I've got it solid against the board. So let me go ahead and just flow some right here. Yeah, I'm happier with that, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. There we go. It just kind of sucks itself down into that hole there. Nice little contact. There we go. And Q-tip, a little bit of IPA. I left my air canister in the other room, but not a problem. I would not say those are professional great solder joints. If anything, I may go ahead and try and put a little bit more heat to them actually, so that um, I'm a little happier with them flowing down. Because I don't want a cold joint. Redoing it is not fun. This one looks pretty nice, the last one. There we go. Okay, clean that up a little bit. Switch, switch, works. Clean our area up a little and get it put back together. So, I did have a clear part here. This is a cable clamp. I believe it came off in that orientation right there, from what I could tell. So let's make sure everything's still connected. Let's get this board back into place, put the sideboard back into place. Grab us a couple of small screws here. The only thing is I may not be able to actually show you guys how it went back to, or how it's working when it's all said and done. I didn't exactly plan for that. I could update Instagram and social media and YouTube with it later, but anyone watching here on Twitch, I would know that it would be a bummer to not be able to know if it was completed or not and actually worked. So if anyone understands why my headset keeps dying out like that, let me know. I would be very grateful to it's got to be, it's not understanding that there's a signal, and so it's auto shutting off is the only thing I can think of, and I don't know how to fix that. So if you're listening and you know how to fix that, feel free to send me a PM or comment it. It would be great. I wish I knew why that was. Let's see. Put this one in here. I believe I accidentally grabbed. Let's see. Did have them separated. There's a 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. Y'all, didn't I say don't lose your parts? And what did I do? And looky there. Look how tiny that spring is. I don't know where that spring goes. That is unfortunate. I'm gonna have to do some research. Gonna have to do some research. Where did that little switch or that little spring go? Where could it have gone? Let's see. Um, hmm. You know, let's just go ahead and continue for a second here so I don't lose anything. And by the way, I just found where that other screw was. It's inside that little plastic housing that holds the mouse wheel in place. Hmm. I don't remember this spring. Could it? Does it go in here somehow? I'm not assembling this legitimately. I'm just trying to. Oh, hey, I found where it goes, y'all. Okay. In the end of the mouse wheel, there's a little cutout there, and in the board there's a mating or a matching male part that looks to be the right size for that little spring. Wow. Um, okay. I don't typically disagree with designs, but that doesn't look pleasant at all. Okay. Um, let's not lose that. Logitech, that's a little bit tough on us, buddy. Just a little bit. It's okay. It's a proven design. I'm not going to argue. I love this mouse. I really do. I have had zero complaints. And honestly, replacing the switch, that's not even a complaint. That's just a, you know, part of electronics. And, you know, there's so many different electronics that we work with on our daily basis that so many people will just throw out in a hurry. They're like, oh, it's 7, 8 bucks to buy something new. But a couple minutes of work might fix that. And I have a project that I've repaired a Roku remote. And it's so simple to repair it with just a bit of graphite from a number 2B pencil. If you can pull it apart and repair it in a few minutes, why is it a big deal to do that compared to going and ordering a whole new one from Amazon, having it shipped or Walmart or wherever, you know, $10 plus shipping, the cost of the fuel of the transport company, the delivery driver, it's just there's no sense to having to do that when you can repair it and save some waste in the world. Put our little cross pin back in here, the plastic one. Can't get it in the hole, y'all. Can't get it in the hole. Go in your hole. It's your home. Does not want to. There we go. You just gotta hold your mouth just right. You're like, and then it goes. Push it in a little too far, and it won't allow it to rotate into position. Pull it out, rotate, and it's back in. Put this board back into place. And we are ready to start putting our housing back on. But before I do that, I'm going to take just a Q-tip with a little isopropyl alcohol and just kind of clean it up a little bit. There's a little bit of thumb gunk and finger gunk and dust and grime around. Don't take but a minute to do some cleanup. Don't need to be perfect. It's going to get dirty again, but when you're done doing a project, cleanup is key. Just kind of go through on a quick little clean here, pass, and come back and clean it up with a final Q-tip. I usually have some microfiber cloths with me. And again, I am set up at my desk this time instead of my workbench and don't necessarily have everything set up as I normally would. But that's a little bit of Q-tips here. Something in there. There we go. A little something. Far from perfect, but it works. It should work. Hopefully we can test that. And so we have all of our screws back in. We have our spring back in. Our mouse wheels on. New switch. The new switch feels like it's going to have a little bit more resistance. Um, I don't know how I feel about that yet. I don't know if I'm as advanced of a player to notice that. It was one of the reviews that I saw on Amazon that it had a little bit more resistance, but I mean sometimes a little bit more resistance isn't bad. I'm not trying to, win world records here. So, kind of leverage that back in. Looky there. Too easy. Too easy, drill sergeant. Too easy. All right. Hey, I have to give a quick shout out. If Joey sees this or if anybody else sees this, Joey does tech, great channel, love his content. He has a silicone mat, and I saw that and I was like, dude, I mean that is a work surface right there that you can work on, and I love it. Oh my gosh, guys, good thing I just started saying that. Look at here again. I found the little spring. We got to go back in. Oh well, let's go back in. We're experienced now. We're pros, right? Uh, don't count your chickens till the eggs hatch. All right, 3 of the 4. And Anyways, what I was saying was Joey does tech. He's got one of these mats or similar. I just got this cheapy one from Walmart. It was such a great idea. I grabbed one. I was like, man, I have torn up my desk. I have melted my mouse pads. I'm not going to do that anymore after seeing that. And I was like, dude, that guy's got it figured out. So shout out there. Ooh, my spring. Okay, got the cross pin out. Let's pull the. No, hold on. There's two springs, y'all. Um, Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. All right. Where could the second spring go? Where do you go? So then maybe that spring doesn't go there? It almost seems like it would. Where did it go then? Does it go? Hmm. You got me stumped. Okay. I don't has anything to do with that. I'm gonna have to pull up a diagram real quick. Logitech G502 Hero parts diagram. Of course, the parts diagram doesn't show springs or the little blown up image they have of the springs or of the parts. It doesn't show springs on that image. So is it like working on a an old Chevy pickup? You know, if you have extra parts, it doesn't really matter. GM didn't know how to design it in the first place. Unlikely. I'm not gonna do that. Let's go. Oh no. All right. Let's see who has a video and showing. Let's see. Is there some video? This is funny. It's the way it goes. The way it goes. The final countdown. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I don't want to strike. I'm just kidding. Oh, do the springs go? I don't know. I wonder if the springs go under that clear plastic clip that held the power cable in place, the power lead. No, I don't. I don't think they would. I mean, it kind of looks like it could. Yeah, perfect little spot for it. But why? Why would they be there? That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense to me. To hold that silicone down. I don't think that's it. I seriously don't think that's it. It has to do with something with. Gotta be a little more careful here. Wait. Oh no. Okay, there it is, right there. No, I don't. I seriously doubt that that's where it goes. My next thought was it has something to do with switches. It's obviously got to do with either the switches or the mouse wheel. I mean, what other purpose would springs have? Because is there? Let me dump out the screws there. Is there any reason why it would fit here? I don't see any way that it would be captured. Bummer. Like this. Let's think this through logically how this works. You got your click up and down, right and left, scroll wheel, side to side. I'm not sure. This is going to take me a minute for I gotta figure this out. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Found a video that shows the springs on a desk mat, but where does a spring go? Where I get this right because I have a couple of springs here that I don't remember them falling out, and I gotta make sure I gotta figure this out right. I don't want to screw it up. But I'll give credit to this gentleman. Um, if he, huh, the spring just disappeared off his. Oh, he's gonna show. No, he's not. Okay. The spring, he just pulled it away and it's no longer there. Um, okay. Say, one more try here. Logitech G502 Hero. Small springs. They're mouse wheel springs. But where do they go? Up under the front here. No way. There's no way. How are they captured? They just sit in these two little holes right here, these two little pockets in the PCB. There's no way. That is. What did I say earlier about the working on the ARs? Final hour, about ready to get it done, ready to be on, gonna get ready to head to the range. And those things go flying off at Mach 70, just like that one did. This can't be this can't be legit. Yeah, they just keep just jumping out. Yeah, they're a little twisted up. I don't know how I never lost these before when I've opened this. I am flabbergasted at that because I don't see that that's the right spot for them. But I mean, dude, that's not that's not legit. That can't be. Let's think this through. Yeah, running on a little longer than I had anticipated, but I mean that clear plastic has. Oh, the clear plastic's upside down? Okay. Remember how earlier I was saying this clear plastic has these little nubs sticking up that the springs look like they fit on? I think I had this going the wrong way. So let's go ahead and pull this over here, pull this out here like this. Stick this clear plastic part with the nubs sticking up. Put our control board, motherboard, back into place with our little side panel. Grab our astronomically small springs and place them on those little nubs through the hole of the PCB. Just like that. But before I get much further, I need to throw in my screws because you can't put the screws in once the um, mouse wheel is on. Now I'm going to lose my springs. Okay. All right. Let's just go ahead and get the springs in, or the screws. Look, y'all, keep an eye on the springs. Make sure they don't go flying off somewhere, okay? If they do, you let me know which way they go because I gotta focus. At least, hey, we figured it out. We figured it out. The video that I watched, the guy showed he had them sitting on his mat here. He did not show where they went because he just took them and wiped them away. So I don't know if he even knew. Um, Unfortunately, I'm not going to give credit to that video just because he didn't give all the information, and um, I just ended up finding a picture that showed where they go. So let's just make our way through finishing this up. Appreciate everyone sticking around. All right. Welcome in. If you're just now starting to watch us here, watch me, I am attempting to repair the right click switch on this Logitech G502 Hero gaming mouse. The mouse was losing connectivity, or the switch was losing connectivity when aiming down sights in first-person shooter games, and so I am attempting to repair it. And I enjoy repairing, learning to do micro soldering, so I thought I would share it as I went along to do it, learning as I go, and who knows, maybe somebody else will learn a little something, and maybe somebody else will have helpful advice and comments on the videos to help me learn more. Because we should always be here to try and boost one another up. Okay, mouse wheel is going in. Springs are in, y'all. Don't lose your springs. Oh, didn't get it all the way down. There we go. Ah, yep, I can see how it works now. All right, so now we need to get our little cross pin put back in. Is this second time or third time? Third time? Second time? Doesn't matter. It's going in. It's in. Board's in. Springs are in. Mouse wheel's sitting a little crooked like it was before, so I don't know. It doesn't affect me. It works, so we're going to roll with it. We got our housing cleaned up. Let's put the housing on. It might be an ergonomic thing. Yeah, we'll go with that. Ergonomics. Couple of things. Let's do a little bit of reflection. Let me reflect on myself, my experience. This first stream of doing repairs and solders on stream. A little self-reflection. Obviously, I need to work on my headset, make sure it doesn't die. I could do a little bit more practice with my soldering iron and hot air station so that I'm more competent with them. I also, speaking of which, turn them off. I also need to work on more stricter moderation setups in Twitch. A few scams and unnecessary commenters. So we do need a few upgrade or improvements there. But what went well is I got through it. It seems to work fine. I can't say that there is any additional um um force required. Let's give it a go. Hopefully it doesn't completely screw everything up plugging this thing in. Well, let's give it a go and make sure all's well that ends well. We'll unplug that one. We'll throw this into front IO real quick just to give it a try. Hey, we got RGB. We got oh we got I got right click. I know I can't show that to you guys, but I got right click. It might take a little bit more force, but maybe break in. But I'm not complaining. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. I'm happy that I was able to do it on stream with you guys. I'm happy that we got through it and that hopefully this will help a couple people. Who knows? Maybe others are in the same situation and they're like, "Oh my God, those stupid little springs," you know? And I kind of figured that out to help out. Whatever it may be, any small little detail that I might be able to help with, I love to do that. I want to do that. So I can only do that with your support. As you know, kind of rusty and crude and learning as I am with this, if you like the content, be sure to drop back by. You know, talk, give me a thumbs up, follow, whatever it may be. I really appreciate everyone that does watch this, and I hope that you go out and try something new that might be a little bit tough for you. I hope you spread that positivity, and I hope you do something a little random. Go have fun. Share it with somebody new. That's what we're here for. We're supposed to be here for. In this day and age, you know, technology has separated us, but maybe this is a way that we can help come back together just slightly. But I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace.